and formed it all together in one company to boost the revenue. Because four small companies together, it makes it more attractive, because what their goal was to sell their business and make a lot of money. So they had 4 businesses, they put them all together, and they wanted to sell out. So they wanted to look for a buyer. The best buyers to look for are publicly listed companies, because they can afford to pay more for your business, remember? They need profit, so they'll buy your profit. So they were able to get an auction going. They found 2 companies that are interested. Once you've got 2 companies, you can bid them off each other. So they ended up, the business, his share out of it, he ended up getting $10 million in stock for his internet business. And the company, I won't mention the company that bought them, it still exists today. It was actually in the papers only recently, about a significant media mogul, a young media mogul that wants to buy them out. And so $10 million in stock he got. The stock, now when you sell your business to a public company, they're not going to let you run away and just let the business fall over. They'll tie you in, lock you in for 2 or 3 years. Fair enough. If they're going to give you $10 million, they want to make sure your business is not going to fall over the next day. You stay there and keep working for 3 years. So it's like a 3-year buyout. You have to stay there and keep it going and hitting profit targets, etc. So he's tied up for 3 years. But during that time, he's $10 million. Now, the way you can get bought, sell your business either through cash, or these companies that didn't want to pay cash, they can just give you a piece of paper. So if you've got a business, so you've got some good websites, making a lot of money, rather than give you $10 million cash, I'll give you $10 million in shares in my listed company. And you go, I started for nothing, $10 million in shares, sounds great, because you can take those shares and sell them, but only after 3 years, because you're locked up for 3 years. You can't sell them for 3 years. Make sense? You still go, yeah, okay, still $10 million in a publicly listed company that's trading at a good price. So what happened is, so he got shares. Over the next 3 years, the share price boomed, remember? Up until 2007. The value of the shares that he got from the company that's bought him out went up to his shares went up to $27 million. Now, this guy's only in his mid-20s. So was he very happy about that? Okay. So he did very well out of that transaction. Now, obviously, he then sold some of those shares because the share price through the credit crisis went down a fair bit. Okay. My former CEO made about 60 mil out of the same transaction because he had one of these internet businesses. Okay. That's how they make some decent money, by selling a business off. So how can you do that to make that sort of money? Well, another 21st century member, what he did, took this concept some years back, and he built up a business. And he sold an internet business, built up an internet business. Actually, one of the speakers, he was a business partner with one of the speakers here today, many years ago. They built up a website business, subscription-based business on the internet, and he sold out his 50% share, and he got about $250,000 for it. So he sold out his business, got about $250,000 for it. Is that a good deal if you can build up a business 2 years later, an internet business, and sell your share for $250,000? Who'd like to be able to do that? Okay. Because the money's not so much, if you're making an internet business that's making $50,000 a year, that's great, that's $4,000 a month. It's the times value. If you can sell that for 5 times, you've just made an asset, you've sold an asset that's worth $250,000 in that case. Making sense? So you can actually replicate it now with the internet, or even in traditional business, on a small scale by building the business up to sell it at some point. All businesses should be built to eventually sell it. You can sell it many different ways, but that's a whole business course we could go into. Quickly turn the person next to you, and here's what I want you to do. 1, 30 seconds, teach them how to become a billionaire. Then 2, I want you to share with them what's been the best thing you've learnt in the last 4 days. Okay, I'd just like to hear from anyone like to share. What I'd like to hear from a couple of people is just share what's been your best thing you've learned so far in the last 4 days, and what are some action steps you're committed to taking. Okay, just some hands up. We'll start down the front. Give me a big hand right down the front row.
Thanks, Jamie. The biggest learn that I've got out, this is our second one, our second 4-day seminar, and it was like a whirlwind in the first one in Sydney 6-7 weeks ago. And the journey that we've taken since then was the Sydney seminar, then down to Melbourne for an internet workshop with Lou, and then we went from there back to Sydney for the internet and business mastery with Lou and all the guys, some other guys. And the other thing that I got out of that as well, and course, Nikki. And, of course, one of the other things that came out of that was I learnt that by taking action, the results you can get. And we had an incident in the room. It wasn't an incident, it was action that I took, where Kerwin Ray gave away one of his business mastery packages. So the first thing I just sort of did while he was talking was just sort of move out. And by the time I got here, he said to me, "Who are you?" I told him my name, and he said, "Congratulations." So I won that, and I was able to go and do that business mastery, which was fantastic. But the other thing that we've got out of this weekend again is the first thing is that I'm setting up my own consulting company. I've already got a client for 100 to 150,000 a year. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we're going to, we've taken on e-minis. So we're going to be doing e-minis, and we've got some dates on these things. We're just not saying we're going to do them. We've put timetables. We've also got global, which is fantastic. I've got Coach the Coach that I've got to dig into. Now, that's a lot to do, but I'm telling you, I can't wait to get started, because the energy that we've been able to get off you guys this weekend has been fantastic, and I want to thank you for that.
So, a question for you. With Robert's action steps, he's taking a lot of action there. Do you think it's going to be possible for him to get momentum, yes or no? Yeah, because he's getting momentum already. He's been doing a lot in total immersion. Total immersion. That's what I did. I immersed myself completely, learning as much as I can, as fast as I can, and taking massive action. And that's the keys to getting where you want to go that much quicker. Who else wanted to share? We'll just hear from a few others. Let's go right down with Sean down the back there. Give him a big hand.
Probably the biggest thing that I got out today was with Matt, with the NLP and the mindset. Coming from my own personal experience, which is a personal trainer and running a business there, is we see a lot of clients come to us and they blame themselves a lot of the time for not achieving the results. And what I've seen over the course of the last 4 days here is a lot of accelerated learning, and people nearly probably handing the dish on the platter to you about how to become successful. But the biggest thing is, like I say to my clients, is we know the success steps to be able to get and achieve a result they want for their own lifestyle. And I think here also you need to actually focus on it and follow those steps and not try to take shortcuts. If you do take shortcuts, then you're only, I suppose, setting yourself up for failure. So one of the biggest things we took out from Matt today was make sure you focus on it, focus where you want to be, don't leave it on the shelf, and make sure you keep it always on the front of your mind.
Give me a hand. Who else wanted to share? Best thing and action steps you're committed to. Who else wanted to share? Best thing and action steps before we go around one by one. Okay, let's go right down the back.
What I come out with is that I think you're genuine. You're trying to help us, and that's thank you.
You're welcome. Give me a hand. Who else? Who else? Last chance. Forever hold your peace. Okay, let's hear down the back. Give me a big hand.
I'm a bit different than most. I've been a member for 3 years and I've been sitting on my butt because I come from a little town in the middle of New South Wales, 200 people, and if I'd have said I was going to a seminar to learn how to get rich, I wouldn't have been able to go to the pub anymore. But I've got a son here that's 27 or 28, whatever, and he said, I told him about the seminar and he said, well, why don't we go, Dad? And I said, bloody beauty, got somebody at least that'll come with me. So I know we were supposed to be here within 2 years after joining, but I rang up and they were good enough to let me come after so I can get me 5 years. And oh boy, are we blown away by this, the energy and the... It's not the speakers as much as you people that just going to drive us. You just haven't got any idea what it's doing for us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So if they won't let you back in the pub, just maybe buy it one day. Who else wanted to share?
Can I just ask how the youth seminar went?
Yeah, sure. So some of you, did anyone get down to the youth seminar? Yeah. So, yeah, no, it was great. Someone might want to share what they experienced.
I would just like to say thank you so much. I took my son, who's 15, and 4 of his mates along, And I looked around and everyone, all the young guys there were sitting there engrossed. They were the best behaved group of 13 to 20-year-olds I've ever seen. So obviously the content really appealed to them and they had a great time. And they sat and they listened and they were talking about it when they left. So thank you so much. That's huge and you've impacted their lives. And that's what they need to hear. Lots of people saying about wealth creation and things like that from that young age. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's on your hand.